Hi, my name is Armand Belding. I'm a social media manager at Students First. We're a nonprofit organization working to bring pro-student ed reforms to every school in the country. I spend most of my time managing our Twitter and our Facebook presence all over the country. We're currently active in about 18 states, and each one has its own Facebook page and Twitter account and Instagram and stuff like that. So what we're trying to do is produce content that lets people know about the political activity that we're doing in each of the states, and trying to highlight the activity of our members as well as the great things that students and teachers are doing in schools in all of our active states, and including our national brand and activities. So I don't have any immediate staff. I wish I did. But I am responsible for occasionally managing interns who come through, as well as training virtually our entire staff. So anybody who comes in who says, hey, I want to learn more about Twitter, I want to learn more about Facebook, I want to learn about how to engage with as wide of an audience as possible and share images and video and stories and blog posts and things like that, I'm responsible for training everybody and making sure that everybody knows the best way to do that. My educational career path is kind of a weird one. I studied history and political science in college. That was my major, or majors, which basically taught me how to read and write and think. That became a political career in Washington, D.C., and part of that time I had some free time in my schedule, and I was able to teach a little bit at a private school that had a really crazy background. This private school ended up taking most of its new students on scholarship from poor neighborhoods. So you have older, more wealthy students, and you have poorer new students, freshmen. And it was this kind of weird situation where both groups are trying to figure each other out and figure out how they can get the best education from the school as possible. And it really got me interested in education reform issues and how to help especially underprivileged kids, low-income kids, get the best education possible. So I was able to find Students First, which was a really happy marriage of my communications and political background, which I had coming out of college, and my new passion for education. So that's why I work for an education advocacy organization. What I wish I knew when I was younger that I know now is it doesn't matter what you're doing. It could be washing dishes, it could be writing an essay, it could be filing papers or sending letters or making copies, unglamorous things, or you could be a strategy developer for a political campaign or something very high level. It doesn't matter what it is, you have to be the best at that job that anyone's ever seen. And you have to go into work with that mentality, because ultimately your career is going to depend on how hard you work, how good you are at your job, and maybe most important of all, what other people think of how you did with your job. So if you are the hardest worker in that job, if you really kick butt, and it doesn't matter how low the job is. If your only job is cutting paper in half with a pair of scissors, you better be the best paper cutter they've ever seen in their life. And they're going to say, this person really rocks at cutting paper. Why don't we give them an opportunity to cut cardboard? That's the next level. And then you got to work your way up until eventually, you're running the company. So do the best absolutely in every single thing that you're trying to do. People will take notice, and they're going to want to keep you around.